G'day family, it's Bourkeys here and welcome to a late version of Bourkeys Top 10 preview versus the Sharkies. It's 5:30 in 2.25 hours. Shirts ready, hearts ready, beers are ready. Looking forward to this one big time. So look, without delving too much into it guys, and I know you want to get prepped for the game as well, let's get into the top 10. So the first one I've gone for this week is a bit of left field. Talking about the Sharks first, I've gone for John Morris, the coach. Why John Morris? Well, predominantly John's 13 games into his NRL A-grade coaching career, but in his side he's got the likes of Gallen, Johnson, Fafita, Moylan, Morris, Graham. There's a whole raft of players that have played 10 or 20 times more than games that he's coached. The point I'm trying to make here with John is that he has pared back to be very simplistic with his approach. John can only get them to the sideline as a coach. Once they take the field, the players are on their own. Similar to our coach Ricky, who for whatever reason sometimes cops a lot of stick for various decisions he makes as a coach during the game, the way that he coaches, so on and so forth. Most important to understand guys, players make coaches, coaches don't make players. It's a really important point. So this Cronulla side, with a 13-game NRL coach, basically take their own performance into their own hands. And I'm sure our guys do. They're not blaming the coach, but for some reason after a loss sometimes we have things to say about the coach, which is totally unfair. So most important to remember, once you step over that white line, the coach has nothing more to do with it. Yes, there's a few things here and there the coach can give on a broad spectrum about the game, but once they get across that white line, it's up to the individual and the individual's performance. So the point that I'm making, if our performance tonight is 1% better than the Sharks' performance, we're going to win, but it's going to come back to the individual player to do so. Hope that makes sense. Let's go on to Gallen at number 2. Without a doubt, the Sharks' inspirational leader has been now for 5, 6, 7 years. Just like our seer, Gallen is the go-to man. Now, make no mistake about it. If the Sharks are in a quagmire or in a corner or not playing well, Gallen will usually take 2 to 3 hit-ups straight up the guts to settle things down. That's his go. That's his modus operandi, purely and simply, is to grind out as many metres as he can through the middle. You won't see him wide, you'll see him 2 or 3 metres either side of the ruck in attack as well as defence. The big thing with Gallen that we've got to take advantage of when we're in attack is to make him do repeat sets. Quick repeat sets out of dummy half. Make him make a tackle, then CNK or Jordan or Bailey out of dummy half and make him chase. If we can make him chase from marker so he's chasing from behind, their defence won't know what to do, whether Gal will make the tackle. If they're indecisive, one of their lines have to come into cover for him, and that's where the gap is. So through all Gallen's inspiration and spiritual leadership, he does have flaws at 35 years of age. His second efforts are not what they used to. Also with Gallen close to the line, when they're attacking, he's offload. He can be very sneaky, usually underarm like that, to get the ball away. But we've got to be on our guard with him, but we need to tire him out and make him work. Matt Moylan, number 3. Matt does not like high floating bombs where he's got to run to them. He doesn't like them whatsoever. If it's a bit of a cold, slippery night, we've got to make sure we do those oblong type of bombs to Moylan, because if we can do them early and he drops a couple or makes a fumble, his confidence is shot for the game. If we give him space and time to dance around and look for his winger and so on and so forth, we're going to struggle. Moylan's other big go is, if they get a quick play of the ball in the ruck or 2 where they win the ruck, he's going to be the first receiver. Usually to the left-hand side, so running this way. Moylan will be on the left because that's his stronger passing side. So the left-hand side means he's going to be hit near the Wade Graham or Bronson Sherry in that left-hand edge area. He'll run straight Moylan, then he'll dart 45 and look for a gap. He's trying to bring either Nick in or John Bateman in or Bailey in or someone like that, not Bailey, Jordan in, and try and hit them down the flanks. So we've got to be really switched on to Moylan. Even 10 metres their side of halfway, he's going to have a crack with a quick play of the ball. Number 4, I've gone for Shaun Johnson. First game back tonight, we need to make him earn his keep. We can't spook him, we can't scare him on 5th tackles, we've got to keep our line. As soon as Johnson sees someone's out the line or rushed up, sometimes Jared, then he's going to take advantage of it. So we've really got to have confidence and be comfortable with the inside and outside guy when Shaun Johnson gets the ball. If we break that line, we're going to make it. We're going to pay. In defence, Johnson will usually play very wide right side defence. So our left side is what I'm thinking is where he will defend. So the left side, Jared, Bailey, CNK coming in, Elliott, those sorts of guys have really got to test him out and make him tackle. Johnson's not a big defender. He wouldn't knock the fuzz off a peach. But we've got to make him, once again, earn his keep. 4 or 5 weeks since his last game, he's going to be struggling for fitness and match leagues, but we've got to take his energy levels out early. So we've really got to be on him early. Once again, get him out of the game. The big thing with Johnson, if we keep our line, we've got to have speed getting to him. So up quickly in his face, take his time management away, so we're not dancing around watching what he's going to do, but we can't be spooked by one of us rushing up. For feeder number 5, their aggressive kingpin, likes to intimidate, likes to get on top of guys, likes to verbal, likes to smash. You saw last week against the Eels, he was verbally mouthing off at guys when he scored. So once again, we've got to take that out of him, and I'm going to come to the person who will later in our side of the equation. But Fafita likes to intimidate. Now, depending on the game, he might play the first 30 minutes, he might play the whole first half. So he's going to be thereabouts. As I said in my column this week, or my blog this week, or my post, he's started on the left edge for the Sharks, not so much in the middle, but on the left edge. Pryor and Gallen and those guys are usually hitting the middle, Fafita wide, and then he floats into the centre once Gallen or Pryor goes off. But Fafita can be frustrated. So if we get up in his face early, gets some errors from him, he gives away a couple of penalties, he loses the plot, and he goes into an I type of man instead of a team type of man. That's what we've got to work on. So let's come to us now. Number 6 is John Bateman. You know the guy. I think he's big tonight. He loves this type of challenge. He would have been salivating all week at their forward pack. He's got eyes for Gallen tonight. He'll have eyes for Feeder. He'll have eyes for Wade Graham. Bateman likes to take out kingpins from other people's sides or oppositions, because he knows that's where the mind games are going to be won. If he can intimidate and get on top of their best player, the rest are going to fold or be frustrated out of it as well. So Bateman tonight will be all over Fafita. I can't wait for it. He'll be all over Gallen. He'll be all over Wade Graham. He'll be doing his darnest just to let everyone know that he's out there. What I'm looking forward to tonight from John the Tack is that skip across field, that skirt across field on a slippery night in Canberra. If he can get that right angle where he comes back against the grain and looks for a gap in the middle against the Sharks pack, it'll happen. He'll find a gap somewhere around that middle third, and then we'll have that momentum forward. Bateman's key. Number 7, Papa, loves this type of challenge once again. I think the Gallen War in 2011 was great at the time. I think it's probably softened. It's still great to look back at those highlights, but I think regardless, a part of him was trying to maybe get some respect being young. Now he's got respect. One of the world's best forwards. I don't think he needs a war with Gallen. Papa will play the team game. If it's on, he'll accommodate it, not a problem at all. But his charges tonight and his post-contact meters for us against this type of Sharks pack is big. Cronulla are not a very good side when they're going backwards in attack. That's when they get to the octagon level. They try and make it a gritty type of wrestle type of fight. But Papa's going to be big. The back 3, C&K, Jordan, Simonson, have to grind and grit every metre we can tonight. We've got a better back 3 than the Sharks. Moylan's not a guy that hits it up first off. C&K loves those dummy half runs. Moylan's more a ball player. So we should be able to get more metres than the Sharks from our back 3. We're going to need them to get that momentum before we launch our attack. Number 9, I've gone for Aidan Caesar. Great to see him back last week. He's a bigger body than Sam. He's fresher than Sam now. He's had some time back in the mountains, as I said last week, but he's got a fresher body. Nowhere near as knocked around. You heard Ricky this week saying he's resting Sam this week totally to give him time to recuperate. Aidan's a big game tonight. Him and Chad Townsend are key to each side's, or probably Shaun Johnson, depends where Johnson might play, but it's key for Caesar not just to control the rucks. He's got to dink that ball to the corners. It's a bit of a worry. We've got 2 left foot two left foot kickers in Jack and Aiden. But Aiden's got to be pinpoint with his kicks tonight. He can't get them on the full to one. They've got to be sliding in on the bounce to give our defensive line time to get up and hang the Sharks into the corners. So if Aiden's kicking game can be on early, that'll be great. I want to see him run a lot. He's a big body for a halfback. I want to see him run a lot more. Use that pace he did last week to beat Farah, and I think we're going to be in good stead. Number 10 is the last 20. Now, against the Eels last week, the Sharks didn't do anything sensational. What they relied on was the Eels making mistakes. They were sweating on errors from the Eels, and the Eels gave them plenty inside their own half. And I think the Sharks may have scored 3 converted tries from the Eels' mistakes inside their own half. That's where the Sharks are winning a lot of their games, is that old saying I call the grind. And that's the last 20. So they're going to be sweating on our mistakes. They're going to try for big hits to lodge the ball loose. So we just really got to be aware of our game plan and mental attitude and make sure we go through our processes to get to our kick or to get to our attacking areas where we can launch an attack. But that's what the Sharks sweat on, is the last 20 of the first half and the last 10 of the last 20 of the second half and the last 10 of the first half, where they really sweat on mistakes. So guys, that's it for both top 10. Thanks so much for your support. Bourkeys Top 10 Facebook page, at Bourkey Top 10 Twitter. YouTube channel's up and running, so search at Bourkeys Top 10 in YouTube and subscribe to the channel. All the podcast apps are running, guys. As always, I love your support. This is Bourkey, Bleed Green out.